my name is Serenity. I am a traditional artist inspired by women, nature, and magic. I run a mail club where I send art and letters to strangers all over the world. It is a huge passion project for me, and I just think it's so special to receive something that is beautiful in your mailbox. I am a traditional artist, and in the era of AI, I take a lot of pride in that. I started oil painting when I was 15, and I have recently ventured into the world of collage, which is what I'm using to illustrate my hand-painted tarot deck. I am an eldest daughter. I came from a family of 7, a very conservative Christian family, and I did not fit into that mold. It was incredibly abusive and something that I have since cut out of my life. I've gotten no contact with my family, which is incredibly hard, but I think surviving that abuse and carrying that trauma and trying to heal and grow and become my own person, I've really valued the word whimsy and romanticizing my life, making everything as whimsical as I possibly can. I like to say magic is a matter of noticing. I think there are so many beautiful moments, even in our mundane lives, even when really horrible things are happening. There is little glimmers that can lead you into deeper little worlds that you're able to develop and create from. And I have made it my mission to make my life as romantic and whimsical as possible and to share that with you. I think that there's so much value in being present and in finding things that you have control over, that you're able to put your own little magic on and use that as inspiration to create and connect with other people. So that's what Print Prose Club is all about, what my art is all about, and I'm really excited to keep growing and connecting with you all. I'm getting shy! The apron is on, which can only mean one thing. It is time for some baking. I really want to make this strawberry upside down cake. Can I get it on the first try? No. Ah. I'm still not a pro at the whole matches thing, but I like the vibe of them, so I'm trying to get it down. There we go. Fire. I'm gonna gather my ingredients. Okay, for the strawberry topping, we're going to need butter. I think we're gonna need quite a bit of butter actually in this recipe. Let's see. Well, 8 tablespoons. I do have some of that already softened. We're gonna need 2 cups of strawberries. And then we're gonna need a half cup of sugar for the topping and 3/4 cup of sugar for the cake. And then all-purpose flour, coconut oil, baking powder, for a second there, I did not think I had any baking powder, but luckily we do. And then all-purpose flour and a little bit of salt, coconut oil, and vanilla extract and milk. I do only have coconut milk, so hopefully that will work okay. My strawberries are definitely on the brink of being overripe. I'm just trying to pick out the best looking ones. It's because I bought strawberries for yogurt bowls and they were BOGO, but then I kind of went through a little depression spell and I wasn't making breakfast, so they've just been sitting here, but luckily we're using them now. I did freeze the other batch. I think I'm going to use it to make a strawberry syrup for my coffee. I almost forgot, but we are reheating our oven to 350. Slice our berries. And I'm gonna try to cut the good parts off of them. I don't really know how thick to cut them, but I'm just gonna go fairly thin. I love strawberries, so I'm very excited about this cake. I really hope it's going to turn out well. I don't think I've ever had a strawberry cake like this. I guess I've had a strawberry shortcake. I have had so much energy today, and it's just this very like calm energy, but I just want to get all of these things done. As soon as I got home, I started doing a little bit of spring cleaning. Very productive today, and I've been really excited to bake as well. It's kind of one of the things I love to do on any of the changing of the seasons. I have always felt like the spring equinox feels more like the new year than New Year's in January, because it's like a week after Christmas and it's suddenly the new year and you're supposed to become this new person or version of yourself, and that is not the time for newness. That is the time for soup, for cuddling, for being cozy, for maybe daydreaming a little bit and thinking about what it is you want to bring in, but like not truly taking that big action on it the way that it's sort of portrayed to be for New Year's in January. The equinox makes so much more sense because the earth is literally beginning anew and the weather is nicer, the sun is out, everything is vibrant and beautiful, and I just feel like we are more inclined to want to move with that. But of course, it was created by men, it was created for profit. The entire calendar system is not reflecting of nature or the cycles of women, and if women were in charge of that structure, I guarantee they would not put it in the beginning of January. At the same time, it is interesting because so much of life is just based on your own perception of it. You can have a new beginning at any time in the year, but I think as humans we like to justify our actions or lack thereof with certain things, and I think it makes sense, but it also is kind of interesting. I do really like living by the seasons. I think it's something I didn't always appreciate growing up, but now that I'm older, I just feel more accepting of just the changing of things. Summer doesn't last forever, nor does spring, and nor does winter. And there's a lot of beauty in moving with the ways of the natural world, so I do respect and appreciate it, and I'm really excited for this upcoming season. I'm also a spring baby. I was born in May, so I have a special affinity for this time of the year. A lot of the things that I do and that I document in my videos is me trying to show up for myself, trying to create a beautiful life and to live by it, and some weeks or months are easier than others, but I still really struggle with depression and anxiety and ruminating thoughts that can ruin my whole day. It feels like quite a roller coaster trying to manage it all. I guess what I'm trying to say is romanticizing my life and doing things for the sake of joy and beauty is a way that I keep myself here, because being in this world has not always felt easy to me, and I know that it must be that way for other people. And I just want it to be a gentle suggestion. Any of the things that you see me doing that are whimsical and creative and fun, it's just like, it's really freaking hard to be a person. And I hope that it can give you a little bit of inspiration of ways to make it just that much more pleasurable. I think it's important to look at other people to see how they are curating their lives, what experiences they're building for themselves, how they are finding joy, but also to realize that it's never the full picture. Social media is never the full picture, and some things are easier for certain people based on their circumstances, based on what they've been through or haven't been through, and I never want it to be a place of comparison. Like, I don't want a single person to compare themselves to me. If anything, I just want them to see things I'm doing and be like, yeah, I can absolutely do that too, why not, you know? That's my point in sharing, is I just want to circulate the joy that I'm creating for myself, because I think it's so important to be joyful, because it's not easy to be joyful and life makes it incredibly hard, and I've been through so many things that have sucked my joy away, and so I'm very precious about it now. And that's just where I'm at and what I'm trying to do, and I don't know if any of that makes sense, but I hope it does. Okay, and then for the strawberry topping, we're making a little sugar butter mixture, so I'm gonna melt 2 tablespoons of butter. I still remember when I was a kid and I first learned that you could measure the butter by the actual wrapper, and I just thought that was the coolest thing I've ever seen. I want to put some parchment on the bottom of my pan. This is one of those like spring... Yikes. Okay, we're gonna spread it evenly across the bottom of the pan, which is a 9-inch pan, and then arrange the strawberry slices over the sugar, starting from the outer edge toward the center. I hope I have enough strawberries, I guess we'll see. I don't know exactly which way I want to arrange them. I think I'm gonna go with the rounded side toward the edge. Ooh, or should we alternate? We're gonna alternate. Like this. I want to save some of the prettier looking slices for the center. I also just realized that the part I'm looking at is what's going to be underneath the cake. So if I have this edge of a strawberry and I want this part on the top, then it needs to look like this from my side. And you also want to slightly overlap them so that everything's covered. I'm really curious what this is going to look like after it's done baking. I think I'm gonna have the perfect amount of strawberries, which is very exciting to me. I was kind of worried that it wasn't gonna be enough, but it is the perfect amount. This hopping done, we are going to make the cake batter. So we're going to whisk together flour, baking powder, and salt. And then for the wet ingredients, we are going to beat together the butter, oil, sugar, and vanilla until light and fluffy. Vanilla, which you always measure by heart. That seems good. So it's 333. And now we have to carefully spread it over our strawberry mixture, which I'm a little bit nervous about. These are the cute stamps that I got for my club this month. I love hummingbirds. They're my favorite bird. And I think this one is my favorite. I feel like I haven't shown you my living room in a little while, and that is because there's pretty much been no progress. Just getting into this home really drained me. It was such a dragged out process, and I put all of my remaining energy into setting up my studio, which is beautiful, and I'm really glad I did because it let me immediately get back into running my business, and I was able to relaunch my nail club and start working on my tarot deck and everything. So that's been consuming a lot of my time and energy, but my home is kind of making me sad because there's just a lot of like empty space and clutter of things that just need to find a home. So I am really trying to prioritize that again. It really does take a lot of time, effort, and money to decorate a home, which is unfortunate because I feel like I don't have any of those things. But I wanted to show you what I've done and my envision for my living room because I think it would be very cute. I went to Michael's and I feel like their things are usually pretty overpriced, but they do have pretty good deals once in a while, and all of the florals were 60% off. So I got these really beautiful pink florals. I had this vision to make like a little fairy entryway to my kitchen, so I'll show you that in a second, but I also want to show you my really cute couch. You can tell I live in an old house because of all of these creaky floors, but so still a lot of space that I have to figure out, but it's slowly coming together. I think my coffee table looks super cute. These flowers are more fake flowers that I got from Michael's, and I have some books and my candle and my adorable little couch. I made my art studio very princessy, and I want this living room to feel kind of like the little fairy garden. So I chose this rug that reminds me of grass, and then I have my cloud pouch, and I want to make this nice little floral fairy entryway to my kitchen over there. But yeah, I'm very excited to read and journal in here and have my breakfast on my cute little coffee table. I even have a TV that's hung on the wall, which makes me feel very adult. So yeah, this is the vibe so far. One thing I don't love is that my house is on a street, so there is a lot of people and cars driving past all the time, which is okay, but I don't feel super comfortable having my blinds open, so it feels a bit dark in here, and I'm trying to add nice sources of light so that it can feel more cozy rather than depressing. With my TV hung on the wall, I kind of want to get either like a really thin entertainment system or maybe just like a cute basket or a little table or something that I could put like puzzles and board games and little things like that. I don't want anything too big because I think it will eat up the space of my living room too much, especially because it's already small. This is my latest thrift find, which I'm so excited about because these were $5 each, which is insane. I've seen them for $30 to even $50 at certain shops, but they are these gold candle wall sconces, which I want to put on either side of my TV. I think that will be really pretty and add some more warm ambient light. I'm gonna try it with real candles and see how that goes, but I may end up getting just some flickering LED candles or something just for safety. I did measure where the sconces are gonna hang, but I don't know where my hammer is, so I can't finish putting the little hooks in. Go about right here. So yeah, I need to finish that. Okay, envision with me. So my living room leads to the entrance of my kitchen, and I was thinking as a way to add a little bit of magic and some color to the space, I can make a nice little like floral fairy entryway. These little bouquets would go on either side over here. And then this at the top. And I don't have them on me right now, but I have these little ivy vines that I want to go from here over to here and then down the entryway on either side, and eventually I might even get a little curtain. I need to get some little hooks or tacks or something so that I can hang this. But yeah. I found this beautiful stick on one of my walks and I couldn't not take it home because it's just perfect. I don't know what to do with it exactly, but I kind of want to incorporate it in my home decor somehow. I even thought it would be cool to get more of those florals and like make a flower tree with this as the base. I don't know, maybe put some fairy lights around it. Ooh, fairy lights on my little fairy entryway would also be really pretty. That could be a nice way to add some ambience to the room as well. For this little corner, I need to get a frame for that painting because I kind of want to put it right there. And then my plan is to get a little record player and then put some of my favorite records on the wall. That would be really cute. I've always wanted a record player, so I think this would be a perfect spot for it because then I can play my little records whether I'm in the living room or in my kitchen. Anyway, that's all for now. My camera is literally about to die. I'm surprised I was able to record this much, but I'm hoping to get some of this done this weekend because I really want it to start feeling like a properly decorated home. Anyway,